Hey guys, we are back for another Mythic Legions review today, but we're going back to the Covenant of Shadow line, and today we're taking a look at CADOR from the Four Horsemen. You can see him here in the standard Legions packaging. He's in that big open window. We do have a bio for this guy on the side, and then the backer card has artwork from the original waves as well as a write-up of Mythos. So let's do it. Let's pull this guy out and take a look. Alright guys, here he is out of the packaging, our CADOR figure from Covenant of Shadow, and this guy's obviously kind of a little bit more on the basic side. He doesn't have a great deal of armor at the base level, so he is mostly just a bare chest. He's got bare thighs, and he has a slight bit of armor. Alright guys, here he is out of the package, our CADOR figure. A little bit of a more basic figure in some ways. An interesting mix of parts. Very gladiator looking, very barbarian style looking figure, which I really dig in this line, so I am definitely interested to take a look at this figure. Of course, we're going to start with articulation, see how he moves around. As you might expect, it's going to be pretty standard stuff. So the head can rotate, he can look up, he can look down, bobble side to side. There's nothing to get in the way here. Of course, he does have pauldrons. They don't really get in the way much either, though. Arms go out, they swivel. We've got a rotating elbow. You've got a 90-degree hinge, roughly. Popped his hand out there. We have got swiveling gauntlets. We've got swiveling hands. We've got hinges on both hands there as well. We have got a waist rotation, so swivel him at the waist. Back and forth a little bit, side to side. Since it's a bare chest, he doesn't have an upper diaphragm joint, so all you get is what he has at the waist. Legs kick forward, they kick backward, they go outward. You've got a thigh cut in there as well, so you can swivel those thighs. You can bend the knee, and we have got rotation as well. We've got rotation, rocker, and hinge down there at those ankles. So, you know, in terms of what he has everything that you would expect to see. The only thing that he doesn't really have that some other figures do have is that he doesn't have the upper diaphragm swivel to save on that cut at the chest. Otherwise, he is pretty loaded for this line. Now, as far as the overall look and feel of this figure, you're looking at a standard Mythic Legions figure when it comes to quality. It's everything you expect to see. Tons of paint, great sculpt work, fine details. Of course, he has a bare chest, so there is a little less fine detail there, but that's not to say he isn't pretty well loaded. Of course, you've got the veins that run all through the arms, through the biceps, up through the shoulders, and onto the chest. So, you know, he's still packed with detail. It's just not armor detail. Tons of striations in the muscle. The back, he's incredibly jacked from the back for sure, and there's a lot of paint shading in there too to bring out the detail in those muscles, in that musculature, so that's really nice. He has got pretty standard waist armor. We've seen this before a number of times with the inlay design there, a little purplish blue hue in there. All the rivets are painted, nice gold paint. It's a gold bronze kind of look that he's got going here. We've got bronze and kind of dirty gold on the gauntlets, down here on the boots, and everything has a patina, so he's definitely seen plenty of battle as far as what armor he's wearing. We've seen a lot of this before. These boots, these shins are pretty common in the line, so a lot of parts reuse going on here, just a specific mash of pieces, basically. And I think it makes for a pretty interesting figure. He obviously, in terms of character, must be quite confident to go into battle without any kind of armor on from the chest up. I mean, he barely has armor on to begin with. He's just got kind of a girdle and some shin guards, and that's about it. Otherwise, he is, for all intents and purposes, quite naked. I do think he looks really cool. He looks very imposing. He looks even cooler when you get the pauldrons on him, and we'll look at those in a second. As far as the head goes, he has got kind of a standard Knights type helmet. We've seen this with the other figures before. It continues that bronze type color with the purpley blue inlay in there. Fine detail. It's got a bit of a patina on it as well, some pitting, some wear and tear on this helmet. The rivets are painted, all that good stuff. So standard helmet again, standard type of head, but with his specific paint scheme, it all works very well. Despite the fact that some of these parts don't really look all the same, they all flow together really well, and at the end of the day, dig the way this figure looks. Now, as far as accessories go, this guy isn't exactly loaded with them, but he does have quite a few, and they are all quite appropriate to his character. To start off with, we do have pauldrons for this guy. These are pretty commonplace in the line. They definitely flesh out this figure. You don't necessarily need them. This is another figure where I'm not really sure you absolutely should use them. I'm definitely going to, but at the same time, I think he looks pretty solid without them. He just looks a little bit more imposing, a little beefier with them on. Nice bronze kind of copper color there. I really like that. It flows between the accents on the gauntlets and the shin guards really well to kind of tie all of the colors together. Makes for a little bit more cohesive color scheme. I do like that. We have got two straps for this guy. So he comes with two of these instead of just the standard one. we have got the Warhammer for this guy. So we've seen this a lot in the line. I believe when this figure came out, this was not as commonplace as it is now. And if anything, I think it might have only been in a weapons pack up until that point. So at the time, this could have been slightly unique. It's definitely not now, but it's a cool weapon. It's very hefty, very beefy, fits really well with the style of figure we've got here. And then he's got two swords. You have got two of the sort of standard swords. This is the definite standard sword that he has. Got a coppery bronze hilt down there, silver blade, and then this is the longer sword, so just to compare, it's definitely a bigger sword, but we see this a lot with other figures as well. It's one of the more current standard swords. Again, silver blade with a coppery handle on it, hilt. So he comes with a pretty decent spread, not tons of stuff, nothing too specifically unique, at least currently with Mythic Legions, but I think what he does have fits the character, fits the idea really well. So overall, this figure is kind of basic. He's not necessarily as over the top or unique in as many ways as other figures, but CADOR is pretty fun. I think we've got all of that standard Horseman quality in the sculpt. The paint is there, all the little details to bring out this figure, to bring him to life. I love the color scheme that they chose. We've got all the articulation you would expect to see in this particular figure, and he comes with a great set of accessories. He may not have tons, and they may not be as unique as some newer figures, but I think he has stuff that really fits the figure, fits the idea behind him, and that's really all I can ask for. So overall, I think he's a good one. He's not as easy to track down now as he was. You definitely have to go to the aftermarket for this guy, but if you're interested, I'd say he's worth looking for. So that's going to do it for this look at the Mythic Legions Covenant of Shadow CADOR figure. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.